Today we're going to make homemade hamburgers and we're going to pan fry them. Not everybody owns a barbecue. This is a pan fried version that is actually going to give us a nice crispy outside, tender, juicy on the inside. But today we're going to do two different kinds of hamburgers. One, we're going to put ingredients in it to make it yummy and juicy. The other, we're actually just going to do straight up beef, and that's it. The key to a good hamburger is having enough fat in it. So the best thing to do is buy a ground beef that's got 20% fat. Anything leaner than that, and your hamburger is going to be dry. And we want it juicy, and the fat makes it juicy. So we're going to start with our first one, and we're going to start with 1 egg. And then we have dried parsley, and we have salt and pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. So we're going to pop that in. Now I have a ½ pound of ground beef here. The recipe that we actually put up on the website is actually for a pound, but I've cut that in half because I'm going to do something different with the other half, okay? So then we have Dijon mustard, well, this doesn't want to come out, but we got it. Okay, good. We have Worcestershire sauce. You can put teriyaki. You can put soy sauce if you want. And we use a lot of Frank's hot sauce in this house, but Frank's gives it a little kick. And last but not least, breadcrumbs. We're looking for a consistency here. We don't want the meat too wet. So I'm going to massage it, get it happy, and then just feel for the consistency. I may have to add more breadcrumbs, but we're going to see. One thing you don't want to do when you're doing meatballs, meatloaf, or burgers is overwork the meat, because that's another way to make it dry. Okay, so I'm going to go in. I took all my rings off. I'm going to go in with our hands and just mix it until it's just combined, and that's it. So I definitely feel it's too wet. You can probably hear that too. We're going to add a few more breadcrumbs to this. So I'm going to add a few more breadcrumbs now because it's a little squishy. I want it to be a little bit drier. Not so dry, but a little drier than it is. And I'm just going to sprinkle just some on the top. And I feel like this is going to be perfect now. So let's just have a feel. Ah, that's good. So you can hear that it's not squishy anymore. I'm trying to figure out actually how to describe this. Do you see how it's actually pulling away from the bowl now? Before it was sticking to the bowl. Maybe that's the best way to describe it. So this is actually done. Okay, it's the perfect consistency. So we're going to get 2 burgers out of this. So I'm just going to cut this in half with my fingers. They're pretty close. Good. Okay, they're close in size. That'll work. So now I'm going to roll them into a ball in my palm. And I'm going to push them down on my palm as well. It's pretty good. We want about a ½ inch. That's what we're looking for. They're going to definitely shrink while they're cooking. So I usually make them just a little bit bigger, and that way they'll fit the bun perfectly. So well, that looks like it's about ½ inch. I'm going to put that down. One of the things we also want to do is put an indent in the middle. And why is that? Is because they're going to puff up once they cook. And the last thing we want is a meatball-shaped burger. So I've got a little indent there. That'll work. So we're going to do the next one. All right, and then an indent so they don't puff up. And that's our first burger. All right, next up, just the pure beef patty. We are gonna add some salt and pepper to it to give it a little extra flavor. Okay, so, and this is to taste really. So again, remember I'm working with half a pound here. So this is 2 burgers. So each burger is 1/4 pound. So you have to add the salt to bring out the taste in the beef. So this is good. Actually, I'm gonna add a little more salt. There we go. And maybe a little more pepper. I never add too much pepper, I don't think. All right, so now, again, rings off, hands in. Let's just work the salt and pepper into the meat. Again, we don't want to overwork it. We just want to incorporate just enough. And that should actually do it. So, I'm going to split the meat in half again. Eyeball it. Oh, that's good. We've got 2 patties. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Same, exactly the same what we did with the other burger. We're going to roll it in a ball and then flatten it out to about a 1/2 inch. They're going to shrink, so I do make them slightly larger. You'll see that when we did the other burger, they're a little bit larger because there's more ingredients in them. So you could actually make 3 burgers out of that if you wanted to. You can make sliders too, which are amazing. All right, there we go. And I'm actually just going to put these right on top of the other ones. And again, we want a divot in the middle. So do that. Good. Next one. Okay. Now, all we have to do is cook them. We're ready to roll. I've got a pan, it's hot, it's ready to go. Mine's on medium, it depends on your stove. I'm gonna add just a little bit of olive oil. It just gives it a barrier between the pan and the burger. So in we go. Thing you don't wanna do is you don't wanna overcrowd your pan. So if you've got a bigger pan, that's great. I'm going to be able to fit 2 comfortably in here, which I'm good with. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to let this get happy. We're going to do 3 to 4 minutes per side. We're not going to squish it down. We're not going to move them around. We're just going to let them get a beautiful crust on the outside. Then we're going to flip them over, do another 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes. We're sitting at about 3 minutes right now, and if I shake the pan, the meat tells us when it's ready to turn. Watch, I think. Yeah, see how the meat's moving? I think that means we have a crust going on, and that's exactly what we're looking for. So, let's have a look. I'm not sure if we can get a shot of this or not, but we do have a good crust happening. So I'm going to flip them over. Look at that nice crust. There we go. So another 3 or 4 minutes, but what we're going to do is we're going to check it with this just before we want to take them off to make sure they're cooked. Okay, it's been about 3 minutes now. I'm just going to put my thermometer in to have a look. Look at that. We're at 140. It's perfect. Okay. So we're going to take them off. We already did a couple, so I'm going to put them on the same plate. The beautiful crust. Let me turn it off. My plate's not big enough. Now, this is interesting. So, do you see how we made these earlier, right? And 2 are much smaller. They shrink a lot more than the other 2. Well, these 2 are the ones we actually put more ingredients in. These 2 are just ground beef. So it's very interesting to see how the ground beef ones shrank so much more. Just a note. All right, it's time to taste test.
I could live on burgers. I
Yes,
think.
you could. Yes.
I think it's, yeah, pretty much. So the fact that we love doing A/B tests. So that's fun right there. Now, A being one of my favorite foods in the whole world, this is awesome. So what's what here?
Right. So the one on our left is the beef with a little bit of salt and pepper.
Okay.
And then the other one had all those spices and the egg and all of that. So
okay, this should be great
right,
fun.
and so we pointed out as soon as we finished cooking them that the pure beef shrank quite a bit more than
Did
the
it
other
ever?
one. Yeah.
Wow.
And so
Like
and
this
that's
guy's
because
sticking out of the bun, right?
yeah, and that's because there's other stuff going on in it.
Makes
So,
sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Right.
So all we got on is cheese.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
all of our favorite condiments. We're going to try and make this as accurate as possible.
And they're exactly the same.
Let's
All
go,
right,
man.
let's go. Which one are you going to do first? Okay, we'll do the same one first. Okay.
Pure beef, right?
Pure beef. So if you look at this, if you squeeze it, do you see that those juices coming out?
I can't wait.
Beautiful thing.
Well, all I know is that's damn good.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. You had the same one, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just pure beef, right?
It's pure beef.
A little bit of salt and pepper to bring all of those pure beef flavors out.
And by the way, we barbecue all the time, all year round.
Mm.
So this is the first time, probably in years, that I've had a burger done on a hot grill, hot pan, I guess. It's really good.
Yeah,
it's
they are.
really, really good.
Yeah.
Now I'm dying to try this guy. Wow. It's pretty tough.
Well, you might like them really both, right?
Yeah, well, I think I might like this one. What are we going to call that one? The ingredients one.
For
Call the
now,
ingredients one?
yeah.
I think I like it a little bit better. It's got a little bit more fluffiness to the meat.
It's definitely softer.
Yeah.
It's definitely softer.
Oh man.
Yeah.
This is a fun comparison.
Right.
Great recipe. Both of them work beautifully. And the way you cook them, great. What do you think?
Yeah, I like the pure beef one better.
You do?
I do. I love the flavor of the beef. It's just really, it's beefy and it's meaty, and I really like that. Now, I could change my mind tomorrow. I really like the softer one because, I can do that. But, today I like that beefy flavor.
I'm surprised though, because we barbecue all the time. I'm surprised at how good that is. It wasn't as good as I was expecting. It really wasn't.
It was better than.
Or sorry, that's what I meant to say. It is better than I was expecting.
Ditto.
They're both really good.
Same thing.
So that's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
When the snow was blowing, I might whip out and say, "Do them on the frying pan."
Hey, works
Can't go
really,
wrong.
really well.
Anyway, hope you try this. It's a great recipe.
Give them both a try and do a taste test at home.
That's always fun.
Yeah.